What is 360 Human Services?
We work with children with autism and related disabilities to help them with behavioral milestones and skills acquisition milestones.
Autism is one of the greatest challenges that humanity is facing.
Autism is a spectrum, and there's no cure per se, but the best treatment for someone who's looking for any assistance when it comes to autism is working with a board-certified behavioral analyst.
What sets 360 Human Services apart from other providers?
360 Human Services, we're the leaders in providing the service in the communities that we're providing them to, right? Making sure that the people we serve, we're giving them a better chance at being successful in life.
Hey everyone, welcome to Moon Shooters Podcast, where we bring Inland Empire's greatest entrepreneurs. Today with me is Harry Jackson, the CEO of 360 Human Services. Harry is an award-winning entrepreneur. We actually met at the Spirit Awards where he received the award. So welcome, Harry, to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me first about this award that you got recently.
Thank you. So this year we won the Spirit of the Entrepreneur Award for Healthcare Entrepreneur of the Year. And this award means that we went through a competitive process to show that our company was visible, profitable, and making impact for citizens in an empire. And it was a huge honor to take that award away this year.
Yeah, and it was a great opportunity that I met you, which is awesome. So what is 360 Human Services and why did you create this company?
Yes, great question. 360 Human Services is a behavioral health organization focused on providing behavioral health services such as ABA services, which is applied behavioral analysis services, where we work with children with autism and related disabilities to help them with behavioral milestones and skills acquisition milestone, which just means we're teaching them how to do things that are within their capacity for their age. We also provide mental health services in the form of free counseling services or therapy services to children and families in the Inland Empire. Right. Our company was founded in 2020 with the sole purpose of giving families and children access to any type of service that they need to help them thrive within their community. And quality services was a really, really big, focus on the services that we created.
Got it. I did some digging on you.
Okay.
I'm a stalker a little bit. And I noticed that you were a firefighter. Is this accurate?
Yes.
So how did you get into health services?
Yes, my previous career was working with CAL FIRE as a firefighter. I left as a fire apparatus engineer, and when I was an engineer, I took a job in Napa, California, and I live in Victorville, California, and I was working in Napa, California. Fire department is very competitive. You want to move up, right? And I would have these long drives, and I just started thinking, it took me 9 hours to get to work, and I really started thinking about, what is my long-term goal in life, right? So my goal in life was not just to be, which a firefighter is a great career, best career I could have possibly had, especially with the circumstances that I was given when I, was a child. And I thought about my long-term goal and what did I really want to do with myself? And I want to be a community builder. I want to give people opportunities. I want to be part of the process. If there is a chance someone can be successful and something's blocking them, I want to be that person to bridge the two. So I started doing a lot of community work. Started working with adults, and I was just thinking like, man, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to help, there's people, which at the time I was working with people coming out of prison. And I was thinking I can get them the education and information they need to get jobs and they will never go back to jail, right? But during that process, what I really realized was that a lot of our prison population are people who go to jail. They struggle with some type of behavioral, mental, or relationship problem, right? And a lot of times their behavioral issues went undiagnosed and it had to be resolved. And they didn't have to be, but it was more than likely to get effective treatment when they were children, right? A lot of their relationship problems stem back from behavioral mental health issues that could have been solved when they were children. And some of it is trauma, but a lot of people I'm working with were experienced the same thing. So I set out to
So you
learn
wanted
this.
to fix the root of the
I
problem.
want to fix the root of the problem, right? Because I realized we can't focus all of our efforts on reentry, right? It's great. Like, it's great to say, hey, I'm going to help you reenter society. I then focus my attention on let's go prevention, right? And I learned a lot more through that journey. I learned that, I have two kids who needed services at the same time. It just, all these things were happening around the same year, 2012, 2013, where I'm trying to get kids services for my children. We live in Long Beach, California. It was hard. It was hard because my children really needed some type of, they needed help. We didn't know how to work with our kids. One of my children nonverbal. Another one of my children was very aggressive. And what I come to find out is I'll see the same issues with some of the, not the nonverbal, but just some of the issues I saw in my children, I saw in these grown adults that I was working with. So we sought out to learn, and I actually went to go work for a company to learn how to do it. I was going to do it on my own. So I learned from a giant company and seeing that people were not interested in servicing the communities that I serve, that I live in. They just weren't. It just, Watts, Compton, LA, it was not a lot of providers who wanted to go into these communities. On top of, it was so much information you needed to know in order to even access a service. I mean, going from one office and you fill out all the paperwork, and at the very end, this is just for an assessment. I'm told, go to Torrance. Then I go from Torrance, go to Orange County. I'm like, okay, it has to be an easier process than this. At the core of what we're doing, that's what really triggered me to, let's start a company where we focus on these areas that no one else wants to focus on. So as of today, 360 Human Services provide behavioral health services in inner cities and rural communities to ensure that even if we're not the best fit for your child's treatment, we always will point you in the right direction to help you through the process of receiving access to the services your child needs.
So what locations do you currently cover?
Great question. I currently cover Barstow, where we have a treatment center in the city of Barstow, and we're servicing everything Fort Irwin all the way to Apple Valley. Then we have another treatment center where we cover the high desert, and our treatment center sits in the town of Apple Valley, and we do in-home services in the surrounding cities. Victorville, Hesperia, all of the high desert cities. And then you travel down to our San Bernardino location where we have a treatment center in the city of San Bernardino right off of Del Rosa.
So you have 3 physical treatment centers.
Correct.
And then the rest is serving patients at home.
Correct.
Do we call them patients or no?
No, we like to refer them to as, we say clients. We don't say patients, learners. A lot of times you hear us say learners because that's essentially what we're doing. We're teaching.
Right.
We're teaching good habits.
Autism is a big deal. Autism is one of the greatest challenges that humanity is facing because nobody knows anything about it. Like even there's no cure for it, right? Is my research correct?
So we talk about autism. We're looking at a condition which is a range per se, right? It is a
spectrum.
It is a spectrum, right? Autism is a spectrum, and there's no cure per se, but the best treatment for someone who's looking for any assistance when it comes to autism is working with a board certified behavioral analyst, BCBA. You will hear us say the word BCBA a lot because these people are going to school and they're getting training in how do we quantify, like they're the experts at quantifying every single part of a person's behavior. And a lot of times when you are, on the spectrum, you might just get pushed into a corner and they'll say, oh, well, that's just him being him. But that's not necessarily, or her being her. That's not necessarily the overall best treatment for autism. So BCBAs and ABA services are the best way to get a treatment. It's not a cure. It's not even a bad thing. I think being on the spectrum is a good thing. Right?
Is it?
Yeah, I'm on a spectrum. So I think to myself, a lot of people don't know I'm on a spectrum.
Right. Is it one of those things that adversity sometimes is a fuel for talent and for other types of skills that are 100%. Predominant?
Yes, there's so many different talents and so many different skills that our learners, have, that our goal is to go in and enhance, right? To see where are you at? Where is it you and your family want you to be? And we create individualized treatment plans to help each one of our learners get there, right? So always look at it as a blessing, not a curse,
So when it comes to paying for your services, how can people, find the means to pay for your services?
We're funded through medical insurances, right? Our services are medical necessary, right? Medically necessary. It is sometime a copay depending on what insurance you're with, but for the most part, insurance companies provide the payment for this service, right? We are in contract with IEHP. We do single case agreements with Kaiser. We are in contract with Anthem, Cover California, Aetna, Cigna, and Magellan. So if we are in network, you just go to your insurance company and you let them know you're looking for a ABA provider, or some insurance companies will call us autism service providers. But the insurance company will typically work with us and work with you to get us to your door, right? A lot of paperwork involved, but we look at every single individual or client or learner as an individual, and we walk them through the process. We make sure it's as easy as possible within our power to give you access to services that are affordable and appropriate for wherever your learner is at.
And what sets 360 Human Services apart from other providers?
Yeah, I think, I know that 360 Human Services, we're the leaders in providing the services in the communities that we're providing them to, right? There's not many companies that are looking at the full 360 degrees of a person saying, hey, we're not only going to offer you autism services, we're not only going to offer you behavioral health services, but we're also going to find a mental health clinician to help you if you need it, right? Because we're looking at everything a family needs. And if there are community resources that you might need, we have programmed to where we know we can find whatever it is you want or you need, because it's not just one service that any of us needs. It is a full realm. Because you look at it at providing holistic care, from beginning to end. There's so many different needs that each one of us have, and our company is the leader in actually grouping those things together.
How long have you been in business?
Yeah, so we've been in business, and true story is funny is we started off as a daycare.
Okay.
Right? So we made our 2015 is when we started off as a daycare, really. 2015 in our daycare, we were really focusing in the high desert on there's a huge need for kids that might have any type of behavioral issue in a regular daycare or in a school setting where they just get sent home, or the daycares just kick them out because it's not like a school district where you have to go through a process. Our company started off as Jackson Family Daycare, Your Child's Home Away from Home. And what we did is we took those children that most daycares turned away and we brought them into our home daycare, and we were able to make tremendous progress by just giving them love, patience, understanding in individuals. One thing does not fit for every single child. Mm-hmm. So we met the child where they're at. And once again, some of our children, our learners in the daycare setting needed additional services. Mm-hmm. We pivoted in 2020, right before COVID, into opening up an ABA clinic.
Right. So before that, it was at your home?
For that, it was at our home.
All right. So this is exactly what we were starting with. So
yes.
I'm glad that we can, you relate to us right now.
100%. I definitely relate. And there's challenges with doing a home-based business, right? 100%. But there's also, in a daycare setting in the home, I really think is one of the best settings because you really get to know the child. Mm. Kids spend a lot of time at daycares, right? So you end up almost being like, whether you like it or not, you end up being more than just a teacher. You end up being a parent figure, a role model. It takes a community. Kids just don't end up becoming successful on their own. No one does. Mm-hmm. It takes a community. So all these different services, daycares, teachers, schools, human services are all part of the process.
Were your wife your first person?
Yeah, so my wife, so at the time I was a firefighter, and my wife will stay home, and she needed something to do because I will be at work a lot, right? Uh-huh. And she was running a daycare, and I would just help her with the administrative things and just the vision, because I always believe anyone can do anything. And
speaking of 10 years of business, 10 years of success, award winnings, etc., 3 different locations. So knock on wood, your business is highly successful. What do you think this success is attributed to?
I really believe it was meant to happen. Like, I believe all of us have a certain calling on your life, whether you're a police officer, whether you're a firefighter, whether you're a teacher. And I think my calling on my life is to build communities, right? Because I might not be the person that, you know, becomes, you know, super rich, super wealthy, but I think that I'm going to play a big part in sparking the mind of the person that's going to change the world for the greater good.
That's awesome. Do you have any regrets, any big business mistakes that you made? Because, you know, I don't assume that you have a college degree in business or anything of that nature. So did you stumble upon some challenges and mistakes as you're growing the business?
Yes. I never, you know, I started college, left college, just didn't agree with it. They were charging me for books. I did not agree with our education system. And in the fire department, you know, I spent a lot of time taking classes to be the best, you know, at my craft. And I definitely would say there's no fancy degrees here. There's no, you know, wealth behind anything I'm doing. You know, there's no crazy connections that a normal person can't come across. I grew up in poverty, you know, for American standards, right? So for me, just to even be sitting here is a testament that, you know, if it's your calling, it's going to happen for you, right? Mm-hmm. But I have made some major mistakes along the way, right? And I hope that a lot of people can learn from these mistakes. And I just give you 3 mistakes because there's hundreds I can tell you.
All right. Mistake number 1.
Mistake number 1, keeping people around in your team longer than they should be in your team, right? A lot of times I already know someone's not a good fit, but I have hope for people, right? So I give them the benefit of the doubt. And it can be morally, culturally, it can be that their vision is just not in alignment with our vision, right? And what these people will do sometimes is they'll water down the mission, right? They'll question it. It's not an easy mission, right? If you're going to go into some of the hardest communities and help, it's not an easy thing, right? So keeping people who it just wasn't the right place for them longer than I should have. That's a big mistake. That's like the most important mistake that I've made.
Oh my God, you're talking and I'm like thinking about my team.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so true.
You know, oftentimes we don't have, when you're bootstrapping a business and you're going to day to day, you have your own, you know, barriers within your capabilities that you have to overcome. Like, right. I genuinely see the good in people.
Yeah.
Right. And I genuinely want to see everyone win, man. But sometimes, most of the times, it is not the time for that person to win. Right. And whether they're with your organization or they're not with your organization, they're still in a great country. They still have opportunities. You're not the only opportunity. So what I've came up with 2026 is, you know what? I'm just going to make the decision. If you don't work out, you don't work out, and I'll do it myself. I'll talk to them and explain to them why, because this is not meant for everyone.
Sure. And you know, sometimes you may giving them a service by letting them go, because maybe they are also not feeling it, and that's why they're performing below average or something. So when you let them go, they might find the opportunity that will fit them better. And so mistake number 2.
Mistake number 2 is thinking big picture in a small amount of time, right? So, you know, originally we started the company. I wanted to be in 7 states, 12 counties within 5 years, right? But it's a huge part of that we don't talk about is it takes money for that to happen, right?
Right.
So my aspirations are growing faster than my finances can keep up with, right? And it's uncomfortable. It is the most stressful thing if you grow without the proper funding to grow, right? So, you know, that is a huge mistake that I would love to go back and fix is that, you know, I was realistic and I ran my ideas, across people who have done it before, right? You know, I think that a lot of people like me are dream big people. We think like, oh my God, everybody, and we want to have these huge success, but it comes in steps and it comes in time. So, you know, if I can go back, I would scale down my aspirations because at one point I opened up 4 different locations at the same time. Right. It didn't quite, it could have worked, but it, didn't have the team, didn't have the, finances. It was just a lot. So I had to do what I do not like to do is go backwards and say, you know what, Diamond Bar, we can't service you right now. Compton, we can't service you right now. We'll come back to you at a later time and just focus on what I have and try to grow from there.
All right. So mistake number 3.
So mistake number 3 is making sure that you make time for your family and the people that are closest to you. A lot of times in business, it's just go, 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 go. And if you have small kids, as you're go, 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 those kids are getting older. And those are really like, I can want to impact 1,000 families, but if I don't impact my own family, that's not a good measurement of a success. I'm a lot of things, like to a lot of people. I'm a community builder, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a CEO. I am a lot. But more than anything, the most important thing is being a father and being a father to my own kids. And a lot of times I put work before everything else. And going back, that would be the one thing I would like to change.
Super good. Super good. And I can also relate as an entrepreneur who's like, go, go, go. You talk a lot about people and whether they're a good fit or not. So how important people are to your business?
Human services, people are there's no assets inside most human services organizations, right? It's only sweat equity, people. So they're the most important part of your business. And when you're a mission-driven company, the people pool even becomes smaller because there's not a lot of people who are even interested in your mission, but the people who are interested. So the people who you put inside your organization or who you partner with are very important, right? Because it only takes one person to ruin, 10 people's day. Someone comes in the office, they're not happy because of external things, or they just don't believe in what we're doing. They'll just saying, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And it can negatively affect the actual mission of the company. We like to find people who are like-minded and who are looking to serve children and families in inner cities and rural communities, because that is the mission of the organization. So people are the most important part of this organization.
And who is your best employees?
The best employee is someone who is patient, someone who is compassionate, someone who is willing to self-help themselves in order to positively affect people who we serve. I think those are the 3 core, characteristics of a person that's going to work with this organization. Is you're going to have to be patient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Life is going to life you. You're dealing with families and with their most important asset is their child. Mm. They have to actually trust you to work with their child, right? And you actually have to have compassion and understand no one's perfect, right? And in order for people to reach their important milestones, that patience, that compassion, is what is going to take for us to be successful as a team.
And how is it working at 360 Human Services? How is it like? What's the culture like?
Yeah, I really love the fact that our organization, I can guarantee you, we're one of the most diverse organizations in the country, right? If not the most diverse organization, and not just in race and ethnicity, in the way of thought. We recruit people from different parts of the county, right? And we're in Southern California where it's already diverse. So people think differently. We recruit people from rural communities. We recruit people from inner cities, okay? We recruit people from suburban neighborhoods, right? And the main characteristic of these people is they have to believe in our mission. We do, you have to have license, degrees based on where you work at in the company. However, we're not looking at, did you come from Harvard or did you come from Chicago School of Medicine? We're looking at, do you have the compassion to serve people? If you do not have that, this is not the place to work. Our culture is very diverse because of that, because we do not discriminate, right? And when you come into our company, you see people from different walks of life, different paces. It makes us more powerful.
And right now you're running some sort of campaign about the backpack. Can you talk more about that?
Thank you. Yes. So we are having a backpack drive. Our plan is to give 1,000 children in an Inland Empire backpacks August 1st. Right now we're determining our location, but it's going to be in San Bernardino County. And we are looking to bring mental health and financial literacy together. We're working with Chase Bank as of right now. They've committed to work with us. And we plan on doing workshops. It's going to be a resource fair. We truly believe if, your child can get access to, things they need to be successful at school. And this is just a small part of it, right? Is giving them backpack supplies. We're going to also have the banks there to talk about financial literacy, right? We're going to have parent training workshops where we're going to talk about behavioral health and, how to get your child prepared for school if they have any type of learning deficits or anything that we can help with. And we plan on bringing community partners together to host this backpack drive. We're currently, looking for the next week or two, we'll have a definite location. But if you go on our website, 360humanservices.com, we would definitely keep posting updates as they come. Right, we should have a location locked down within a week, but we will be giving away 1,000 backpacks. So that's a huge accomplishment. This is our third annual backpack drive. Our first one, we gave away 100 backpacks. Second one, we gave away 400 backpacks. And this one, we're going to bring community partners in, give away 1,000 backpacks.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. We just started our collaboration between Parrots Lab and 360 Human Services, and there are going to be a lot of these podcasts, and you will get the chance to engage the community on a regular basis over social media. And I want to ask you, because now you are at the Moonshooters podcast, and we believe in that business owners are the 1% of society. They are the ones who are driving the economy, especially small businesses. So what is your wildest dreams? I know you're a dreamer. So what's your moonshot? What is the thing that how do you want to change the world?
First, at a high level, I would like to leave the world a better place than when I arrived, right? I would like to impact change in inner cities and rural community through children, through programs, through initiatives. But if you ask me, my wildest dream would be is that our company can inspire the next president, right? So if we were able to take one of our kids and I looked, 20, 30 years from now, and it was someone who started off in our program and they were the president of the United States of America, that would be wild to me. Because if we even affected one person, we affected thousands of people through that one person.
100%.
Right? So just, making sure that the people we serve, we're giving them a better chance at being successful in life.
Especially because people with autism are misunderstood.
Yes.
And my family own a private school back in Lebanon. And I worked at the school for 5 years. And I get to experience children with autism. Now, we were not prepared for that. So we will get this kid in our school and we start seeing the signs that, they're not like the rest of the students, and we were not prepared to deal with that, and it's so challenging. And so oftentimes we tell the parents like, hey, sorry, probably your child needs a dedicated place to help them better. And oftentimes the parents struggle to find that care for that children. So with services like you, it's so important because you're filling the gap in society and you're believing on those who are different. You're helping them get the skills needed to operate in society. And, we are all indebted to companies like yours. And I think that they are very important. They play a crucial part in society. And so, I agree with the mission and I salute you for what you're doing and for all the successes or on the impact your company is doing. So if people are listening and they want to either join your team as they want to contribute to the team, or they have a child who have some sort of mental health or autism and they want to become a client, what is the process? How they can get in touch with you, and what is the process like?
First off, I commend you on working at the school. It's a great opportunity for everyone to see not every single child, needs the same type of service, whether it's just a school, private school, nanny, we're all different. And I definitely would say anyone who work with children and been exposed to this and they get it, it's needed, right? We can't keep, passing the buck saying, okay, someone else is going to do it. And for our company, if someone was looking to get even information, they're looking to receive services for their child, the first step will be go on to 360humanservices.com. On our website, we have all types of information. But more than anything, if you click on information, there's going to be a tab that's going to say information. You click on that tab, someone will reach out to you within 24 hours. It's like our best practices. the next day someone will reach out to you, right? If you are looking to get counseling services, the same thing. If you go onto our website, we have all types of information of the different type of therapy we offer. You can just click information or fill an intake form out, and someone will reach out to you most likely the next business day, right? But 24 hours is typically what we say. And if you want to find us on Instagram or social media, it's going to be at 360 Human Services. We are dedicated to making sure not only do you get information, but we can help you with access to services.
Harry Jackson, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.